Computer. Perfect. Hey guys, welcome in. Monday night, one of my favorite nights. Sorry I'm so stuffed up. Today was a sick day for me. Um, FYI, somehow our team website completely got deleted. So I'm gonna it'll probably be like 10 hours tomorrow, but I'm gonna redo it. But you know what? We're gonna look on the bright side. That just means we are out with the old, in with the new for 2026, right? All right. So we're going through each chapter of this book. And by the way, if you guys requested a book, they have been sent out. Now I send it out media mail, so that can take a little bit longer, but really not that long. So you should have it soon. Um, this chapter is so important because it's about balancing family and business. And this is something that I've seen a lot in network marketing and just all the years that I've been in this business. I've seen families be, and I want to say this because this is not going to happen to us because I've seen it and it doesn't have to be this way, but I've seen families break up because too much effort is put on one thing. We have to balance it, okay? We do this business for our family, number one. Yes, we do have to make sacrifices sometimes because anything great is worth a sacrifice, right? But I don't want you to lose touch of why you're actually doing this business, and that is to be with your family. I know that you know, especially early on in my career, I've seen a lot of divorces even because they're always on their phone, always on their phone. So, what I want to tell you before we get into this chapter is yes, you are going to have to work a lot. And yes, we are on our phone for pleasure, just like normal people, using social media as a normal person, but then we're also on there for work. So, it might seem like we're on our phone a lot, but hey, Will, could you grab Jack? So it might seem like we're on our phone a lot, but half the time is normal people time, half the time's work. But we have to remember to always like keep that important. Keep that important. So I'm very strong on setting boundaries. I don't think there's anything wrong with having work hours. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling your family, hey, I'm running for this big goal. Mom's going to be on her, be working a little bit more than normal and just reassure them that this is not forever. I'm doing this for you. And one thing that really helped me in the beginning, especially when my teenagers were little kids, I think my boys are too little right now, but when they were like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I would do dream boards and vision boards with my kids. And I would tell them the goals that I had and why I am on my phone, why I'm working, why I'm doing this. And then we would set goals together. And let's have them set goals too. Like, at the end of the week, we'll go get ice cream. So getting your family involved is really important, I think. So I'm just going to jump into this, balancing family and business. The key to keeping your balance is knowing when you've lost it. Okay, let me get everybody in. Okay, so trying to make time for life while being completely absorbed in your business is not sustainable. Instead, take care of yourself and your family first and fit your business into the nooks and crannies of your life. Soon you're going to realize you can incorporate your business into your life. I took my kids for a walk to the park, and as they were playing on the jungle gym, I talked to a few prospects. I was making follow-up calls as I pushed my kids on the swing. Women are great multitaskers, okay? You can do two things at the same time and still feel like you have time and freedom while you're working. So, a typical day when I first got started. When I first got started, I worked the business a lot. I was excited. I was still trying to work my life around my business. I hadn't made that shift yet. As my kids' homeschool teacher, I homeschooled too when I first started in this business. As my kids' homeschool teacher, every morning I would give them their assignment and then I would start working my business. I spent most of my time, probably 70%, meeting new people on social media, mainly through groups and building my relationships. My approach for getting to know people is not trying to be interesting, but being interested in what they have to say about their life. Building those friendships and new relationships turned into new customers, new team members, and a whole bunch of referrals. We'll talk more about social media tips and referrals in chapter 7. After a few months of doing this, I still spent half of my time creating new relationships. But by then, I started working more with my new business builders and doing team activities, traveling, and training. If you're not in a position where you can travel a lot, don't worry. You can do most of everything virtually. And you can tell this book's old because I said via Skype or Periscope or Google Hangouts, through Zoom, through Lives, through FaceTime. Let's update it a little bit. Use live video streaming for team meetings and presentations. And I talk about Periscope a lot. Periscope ain't a thing no more. So we'll replace that with Zoom. Zoom, I'll just read it how it is, but when I say Periscope, just replace Zoom in there. Periscope, a video sharing app, is really big now. It's having a major impact on how we do business and network marketing. I use it all the time. The other day I was kayaking in the middle of the lake. I did a Periscope Q&A. I had 300 people on, just asking questions. I would answer them one by one. People love being able to see you when you go live. Followers get notified and they can log in. So instead of Periscope, let's talk about TikTok. Let's talk about Live. Let's talk about other, when I say Periscope, just insert whatever social media that you're using right now, okay? I actually had a woman who didn't even know what network marketing was. She's been following me online and asked, "What's network marketing?" I was able to answer her through Periscope with everyone else listening. When we were in Las Vegas at a recent training, entrepreneur and best-selling author Jordan Adler stopped over and we did a Periscope together, his very first one. Now he's obsessed with it. Periscope's a really cool tool for us. It's kind of like a live broadcast. So we can do lives, okay? Periscope ain't a thing. I also use Periscope for presentations. Let's say we're doing a business opportunity night for our team and everyone invites prospects. I can set up my laptop, present live in several people's living rooms. We can invite attendees from all over the world to log in to a live presentation. It's like having your own reality show where viewers can ask questions. So it's the same thing as social media today, right? We can go live on Facebook and we are in hundreds of people's living rooms. We don't have to go out, and we are trying to get more in person. I feel like 2026 is almost like a year of going back to the basics. We see a lot of things coming back, like 2016 makeup, juicy contour, like the juicy contour, velvet sweatsuits. You guys remember that? I could never afford them when I was a teenager when they were cool. They're cool again, and I'm 40, so I can afford them. But everything's coming back, and I feel like we need to go back to get ahead. So I am going to try to get in people's living rooms in real life. I am going to try to be meeting people at coffee shops in real life. Okay? So I wanted to put that in there because I really do feel 2026 to set us apart from everyone else is going back to the basics. Applying the law of averages. During times when I'm pushing hard to reach a new rank in our company's compensation plan, what change is how many people I talk to in a day or week. Let me get the waiting room in. Hey guys, welcome in. It's how many people I talk to in a day or week. Obviously, I'm focused on talking to new people every day, but not as much as when I'm pushing for that new rank. To measure how I'm doing, I record who I talk to. Just as Jim Rohn teaches this in the Law of Averages, which I posted that in the team group last week. I hope you watched it. If not, go to YouTube, type in Jim Rohn Law of Averages. I'm telling you, this is what made me successful. I had nobody who wanted to join me, nobody who wanted to buy from me, nobody who wanted to partner with me or do parties until I started applying the Law of Averages, okay? It's so important. So every time you talk to somebody, write down their name, the date, and if they're interested or not. Keep track of every single person you talk to. Soon you're going to see a pattern. For instance, I talked to 20 people and one said yes. That means for 4 people to join my business at the end of the month, I need to talk to 80. Keeping record will show your average, which is going to get better over time. I did this when I was running for a top position in my previous company. I started with an average of 1 in 50. I knew if I wanted to sign up 2 people, I needed to talk to 100 people. I kept going and I kept logging my results. And in 3 months, I raised my average from 1 in 50 to 1 in 10. So you get better. It's just like baseball. Like the law of averages is just like a batting average. The more you do, the better you get, the better your average is going to get. So don't feel like it's daunting, like, oh my gosh, 1 in 100. To sign up 2, I'm going to have to talk to 200 at first, maybe at first. But the more you do it, the better that average gets. I want you to keep track of it because it is true. And I want you to watch that Jim Rohn Law of Averages on YouTube. I'm telling you that one single video changed my entire financial life is the Law of Averages. Keeping records will show your average. which is going to get better over time. I did this when I was running for a time. Oh, I already read that part. Tracking activity and results can be a big motivator for people. Most newbies in the business don't write anything down. They just kind of go with the flow and what happens happens. I'm telling you, write things down, stay organized, and keep journals. Jordan Adler shared with me that he's kept every single journal he has ever written in. When he got his helicopter pilot license, he said, I knew this goal was in my journal somewhere. So he went through all of his boxes and dug up every single journal from the last 10 years, where he said he was going to, he found it 10 years, a journal that was 10 years old, where he said he was going to get his pilot's license. Writing it down helped him reach his goal. It makes it real. This business is all about sharing stories. When you go back, when you go back and look at your old journals, you're going to be amazed at the things you only wish you had. These things you wrote about, the goals you reached, same with your law of average log, save it because you're going to be able to go back and see how your averages got better and better from 1 in 50. Mine went down to 1 in 30, and now it's 1 in 10. You can share your results with your team. Our job in network marketing is all about telling stories, and each journal becomes a collection of stories. And I'm telling you, I have journals from 15 years ago from when I was in a company. It was called Visalis. The company's not around any longer. But sometimes for our trainings that we do, I'll go back to that journal and I'll go and I'll read the trainings that I did in that company and I'll read my notes, and that's how I come to you guys with with training is old journals that I wrote in before. So write everything down. Do not throw a journal away. Keep them. I know the number one income earner in network marketing. His name is Jeff Roberti, I believe, Jeff Roberti, and they call him the $30 million man. It's how much he makes. He's crazy number one earner, but he actually has all of his journals. Um, they're like filed. So he has his assistant file them for month and year, and he says he has like 40 years of journals just completely in a library. You guys, it's so smart. It's don't throw away those journals. Okay. Also, there's one principle. What you measure, you can improve. So if we don't write it down, we're not going to start to be able to improve both our recruiting, our sales, everything we do in this business. What you measure, you can improve. Before you read any further, here are a couple things I want you and everybody on your team to start doing is get a journal and write down what you're thankful for. We talked about that last week. Your goals, put target dates. I want you to put the date that you want to hit that goal, your to-do list, and keep a log of every single person that you talk to in this business. Keep track of your conversations and conversions. This will allow you to measure your results and improve them. Involve your family. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. Involve your family. Make dream boards and learn together. My ex-husband and I help our kids think like entrepreneurs by telling them things like you can be your own boss. When our son says, I want to work at a pizza place, I say you can own a pizza place. We teach them that they can be and do anything that they put their mind to. A lot of parents tell their young kids, you can be anything you want, but as they get older, the parents say, you can't do this or you can't do that. Most kids hear no way more often than they hear yes. Always empower your kids by telling them what they're capable of. Help them see that the world offers infinite possibilities. I used to homeschool my kids, and the last year that we homeschooled, I started a class where we had to study Jim Rohn together. We had our son listen to YouTube videos. We asked him to write a report on Jim Rohn. Involve your whole family, especially if you have a spouse who's a more negative type person, which you're going to come across that. If it's not you and not your spouse, you're going to have somebody on your team who their spouse is going to think this is taking too much of their time. They're going to be kind of negative. What I say in my advice to people who come to me with that problem, I say involve them, or just like friends and family, if they're negative, just let them be your friends and family. They don't have to be your customers. They don't have to be your clients, okay? I'm going to tell you, my family never supported me as a customer, ever. So that is okay. Um, okay, and let's talk about the dream boards. So when you're doing personal development, make it a family affair. Grow and dream as a family. So it really does help if somebody does have a negative mindset when you involve them and show them and tell them. I remember Eric Worre told me this once. He said, when you're going on a 90-day run, involve your family. Tell them why you're doing it. Give them the expectations that I am going to be working a lot, but this is why mom's doing it. I want to be able to create a better life for us. I want to take us on vacation, whatever it might be. Tell them why and remind them of those reasons. Another thing you can do with small kids is make a dream board together. Ask your kids about their own dreams. Ask, what do you want? Even if it's just ice cream, cut out an ice cream cone, put it on their dream board. Everybody in the family can make one together, or you can each make your own. That really helped me when my kids were younger. Teach your kids to think like entrepreneurs. Watch some YouTube videos together. Listen to books or programs on Audible instead of the radio in your car. Listen to something that's going to help your kids expand their mindset. Incorporate personal development throughout their day so your entire family can grow and learn together. As we started listening to audio programs in the car, my son complained a little at first. He said, Jim Rohn is so boring. He's just an old farmer from Idaho. As our kids started listening more, they liked it more. My two small boys love it now. My two small boys are now adults. They know it's going to help them to do better and be better in school and with their friends. They see mom working her business and they want to be in network marketing as well. They see the time freedom, they see what it can do for our family. Your kids may not always accept what you do, and if they don't want to be network marketers, that's fine. You do have to awaken and nurture their entrepreneurial spirit, though, because it can help no matter what they do later in life. Even if your kids may be a little resistant at first, after all, Jim Rohn doesn't have the most exciting, upbeat, kid friendly voice. Just keep doing it. Be consistent with it. Eventually, you're going to start to realize this is just something we do together. And later in life, that's what they're going to remember. Our family sat down and we learned together. And this is what my ex husband wrote. It's hard for some husbands or spouses to wrap their head around not going to a 9 to 5 job to collect a paycheck. I grew up in a household where my dad had an entrepreneurial mindset, so he would always be looking for different ways to make money outside his regular workday. If your husband or spouse who does not have that entrepreneurial mindset, let me tell you, it may be a little hard to accept at first, but be willing to open your mind and try something new. That was a very short one, so we're going to go on to another chapter. And this is know your why. So people don't buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. And that's why we always talk about why we're doing this business. That's why I have you share your why. That's why I have you share your story. It's because people don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you're doing it, right? Your why is what makes you jump out of bed in the morning. What's the reason to keep going? For me, it started with my kids. I wanted them to have a better life than I had growing up. When we talk to our prospects, we want to ask questions to understand their why. Why do they want to do this business? If it's for money, I ask more questions because money's never it. I'm telling you guys, money is just paper. Money is never the real reason somebody wants to do this business. So when somebody says money, I go further. So when you're talking to a new team member and you ask them why they started this business, I want you to ask a lot of questions and really dig deep into that why. So if they say it's money, I ask more questions until I get to the real reason. It's never just about money. Why do they need money? This is how you get more info and more depth on why they want to build a network marketing business. Someone's why could be, I had a difficult childhood and I want my kids to have a better childhood. Or my husband works so hard, I just want to relieve him of some of that burden. Unless you really drill down to that deeper reason of why you want to do this business, you're never going to have a personal connection in your heart with why you're actually doing it. It's going to be so much easier just to throw in the towel until you have that real connection on why you're doing this because it's going to look like this. It's not going to be celebrations every single time. You're not going to hit those goals every single time. You are going to get frustrated in building any business. I'm telling you this so when it happens, you can say, okay, this is normal. Amber told me this is normal. No matter if you're opening a coffee shop, a boutique, a salon, or a network marketing business, it is not always super fun. Okay. It is worth it, but it's not always super fun. And sometimes it gets hard. So that why, knowing like when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be online today. I'm a pretty shy person in real life. I don't want to go live today. I think about my kids. And then that gets my ass up real quick, I'm gonna tell you. So really know why you're doing it. It's not money. I promise you that. Why do you need the money? What is the money gonna do? What is the money gonna relieve for your family? That's your real why. And I want you to get that with your team too. I really want you to get to know what their why is and really dig deep to that real reason. Someone's why could be, I read that already. Okay, so ask questions to get deeper into someone's why. To go deeper in the person's why, I'll ask, what do you want to do with your business? What are you looking to get out of this business? If they say, I want to make more money, I'll say, okay, what do you do with that money? Where would it go? They might say, it would go to my kids to help them get their school clothes. Now I got their real why. They want to do it for their kids. So I keep asking questions until I get to the core of their why. We all have two ears and one mouth, so we need to listen as twice as much as we talk. As a leader, we must ask questions instead of assuming things. Some people are motivated by money. Others may have money and they don't care much about that part. What they want is more friends. Perhaps that's their why. They're lonely and they're looking for a sense of community. Others want to be a part of a team and exercise their influence and leadership. Your why isn't always everybody else's why, especially when you're recruiting. So listen, I want you guys to really take this. This is the first lesson I ever learned at my very first conference 22 years ago. Two ears, one mouth for a reason. So many times in network marketing, I'm sure you all got it, copy pasted novels of somebody trying to recruit you. That don't work. Okay, that don't work. Um, you have to ask questions. Let them talk. When I let people talk and I listen, they usually tell me why this business would work for them or why a product would work for them. But if I'm talking, I'm gonna scare them away. Okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. So I ask questions and I let people talk. I am a really good listener because I'm telling you, listening is more important than being like I said. I want to. I don't want to impress you. I want to impress upon you. I don't want to be interesting. I want to be interested. When you're interested versus trying to be interesting, that is when you become a top salesperson. That is when you become a top recruiter. Listening, okay? A lot of times we talk too much. So okay, so where do you see yourself in this business in 5 years from now? The answers to these questions are going to reveal people's real why. Different personalities, what makes them tick. Have you guys ever read any books by Big Al? He is the best. He is like this old man. I don't even know how old he is, but he's just the cutest thing. And he writes these books, and they're so good. And he's such a sweet man. Like he'll even come and do team calls. I don't know if he still does. Like I said, he was mid 80s, I think, last time I talked to him, and that was a long time ago. But he would come on team calls, everything for free. Such an awesome guy. If you haven't read his books, definitely get the personality color. So, according to Tom Big Al personality color, I'm a red personality, which means I'm dominant, money motivated, and I crave recognition. I may have a yellow personality on my team who wants to do network marketing so she can help more people. It might not be about the money for her at all. If I'm explaining to her how she can earn free trips, make money on the side, or cover a car payment, these things really aren't going to matter to her. You know what I mean? So that's why we ask questions. That's why we listen. She's thinking, okay, but who can I help with this? That's what that personality. So I want you guys to get to know the color personalities, and that's why we listen more than we talk. Because once you figure out what their color personality is, now you know what the type of things you can present to them. Okay. So a yellow personality, I would talk about how you can help women. How we have, a blue personality, I would talk about our community. Red personality, I would definitely talk about the money. So figure out who you're talking to, then you know how to really guide the conversation. Often leaders assume people are joining the business for the same reason that they joined the business, and this may not be correct. You're not going to build a heart to heart connection if you only see your point of view. If you can't see someone else's perspective, learning about the different, if you can't, okay, you're not going to build a connection if you only see your point of view and you can't see someone else's perspective. There we go. Learning about the different color personalities is very helpful in this business. Here's what I want you guys to really, really listen to. Learn to dream again and dream big. Many people are not in touch with their whys because they have so much money struggle. They don't allow themselves to dream. This reminds me of a question I learned from legendary speaker and author Bob Proctor. The title of his audio was, "What would you change if your annual income suddenly became your monthly income?" Use this question with your own prospects and follow up with, what would make a difference in your life? Or would that make a difference in your life? I've only I've only had people say yes to this question. You may think it's a stretch, but that's actually what happened to my ex-husband and I. In just a couple of years, our yearly income became our monthly income. Ask bold questions. What would you do if money were not an object? Or if you had all the money in the world, how would you spend your days? This is really getting down to people's whys. If they had all the money in the world, what would your days look like? Maybe they say, "Oh, I am just with my children. We are on the beach." Like, this is really going to tell why they want to do their business. We have to ask questions. We have to listen twice as much as we talk. And I'm telling you, asking questions is going to grow your business so quickly. If you ask just one question, why do you want to do this business? The answer might be because I want free product. This isn't strong enough. This isn't a strong enough motivation to build a business, and probably not even the true reason. Keep drilling down your questions and keep listening. As leaders, we don't listen enough. We listen to respond. This is something that is so true. And I want you to check yourself when you're having a conversation with somebody, the next conversation you have, if it's your best friend, your mom, your dad, your sister, your spouse, pay attention. A lot of times when people are talking, we're thinking in our head what we're going to say next. We're not actually listening. And that's how humans work. Like, that's just how our brain is wired. So I need you to listen to listen. So as leaders, we don't listen enough. We listen to respond, not to understand. We also need to be listening for cues. People give us their answers in a way they may not even know. We have to learn to pick up on that. We have two ears, one mouth for a reason. You hear me say that a lot. Be a friend who offers help. When when you interview your prospects, you don't want to sound like a business person going through a list of 20 questions. Don't be a drill sergeant or an investigator, but ask them as a friend. Feel into your heart and connect with your own genuine desire to help people. As your business sponsor, I want the very best for you, so let's talk. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your family, your life right now, and where you see your life in 5 years. Let's dream big. Let's open our minds and then just listen to them. On every single one-on-one call I do with my new team members, those are the questions I ask. Tell me about yourself, your family, what your life looks like now, and what you would like it to look like in 5 years. And then I listen as I'm writing, and I write it all down. I write it all down so I can be a better leader for them and I can be a better coach. Imagine you're having a heart to heart conversation with a friend, and as you're listening, make sure to jot down some notes. You'll want to remember some special and personal things about your team members. When I'm talking to new people, they tell me things like their kids' names, their ages. I'll write all of that down so I can remember them for future conversations. When they're feeling defeated, I can remind them of their why. So you should know the why of every single person that you personally sponsor into this business. And if you don't, I want you to take this week to really get to know them and know why they're doing this business, the real why. This was my ex-husband's part. Your why may change over time when you start. It might be to get your kids some school clothes in the beginning. After you achieve that, look for your next reason why you'd want to achieve the next milestone. Your why changes over time, and that's all right. It's actually what needs to happen for you to grow into the leader you need to be. So write down your why and your team members' whys. For the law of attraction to work, we can't just keep our whys in our head. We have to get it down on paper. This is part of my process when I talk to new people who join my team. I have them write down their why. I also have them make visual reminders. For one of my girls, her why is her children. There isn't a lot of extra money, so she can't take her kids to do fun things like going to the movies or, um, to the pool. Her backdrop on her computer is now a picture of her kids having fun. We did that on purpose, so every time she looks up, that vision gets imprinted in her mind. My screensaver are of my kids because when I don't want to work, I look at my phone and I say, okay, I got to get my booty up because this is why I'm doing it. If you're wise to retire your husband, write it down. I want to retire my husband in 5 years. And add a date. Once we set a date, it sets things in motion. Often we say, we're going to do this. But until we actually schedule it, it doesn't happen. I always have new people write their goals with dates. Activate the law of attraction with visual reminders. When I notice someone's a little frustrated or they're not really engaged in their business, I say, let's remember your why. I want you to take that notebook out and I want you to reread it. Writing it down is crucial. Having a visual reminder throughout your home, on your phone, in your car, when I was working to get to that first leadership rank in my old company, I had reminders everywhere. I need to make some new ones now, but right now I do it on my phone. I have my next rank, which is my goal, visible each time I look at my phone. At this point, my why is simply to help as many people as I can to be successful. We also regularly update our vision board and place it where we can see it all the time. My vision board's right there, an updated one. I see it all the time. Have it in your kitchen. My family, we would dream together and decide what our next goal is going to be as a family. Then we'll put a visual reminder in the mirror on our bathroom. In our old house, I wrote on the bathroom mirror, I'm going to be a national director. Every time I went to brush my teeth or wash my hands, I would see it. Keeping your goals and dreams top of your mind is super important. We make sure to share our vision with our kids, either by making dream boards or talking about it with them. When we reach a goal, we go out for dinner or to a movie. We let them know how our vision came about and celebrate together and express gratitude together. Center through meditation, connect through celebration. There's one more why that I have. Ever since I was 17 years old, I wanted to start an organization to help educate young parents. I was a young parent. I was 17 when I had my first child, and I had no resources. My family didn't know anything about finances or credit. For instance, I was encouraged to get the most expensive car that I could afford when I was 18. It was like $600 a month. It got repoed really quick. But my parents, they encouraged me to do it. Like they are not good with money. I never learned money. So I know many young parents who are in similar situations and they don't know how to create a resume, they don't know how to look for housing. I want to create an organization to teach them some of these things that I've learned through my life. So that's a new why for me. I want you guys to really write down what this business can do. Last but not least, each night before I go to sleep, I reconnect with part of my vision that brings me the most joy. Then I read or listen to something that's going to open up my heart and mind. I meditate and I pray, and sometimes I use a meditation app from a self care expert. Oh, I love this one, I still use it. Andrew Johnson. Eric Worre shared it with us when I was at his house. It's a guided meditation program, so it's called Andrew John. Like if you type in Andrew Johnson on the App Store, it'll pop up. But Eric Worre shared it with me when I was at his house. It's a guided meditation program with a visualization component, and it's targeted towards our profession. For instance, you can program it to help you envision what it feels like to reach that next position. It's a wonderful tool you can use anytime, but the best time is right before you go to sleep. When we lie down, we close our eyes and we focus on our breath. We follow the suggestions for a full body and mind relaxation. And our subconscious mind, like it takes in more than you know. It takes in things that you aren't even paying attention to. So that's why I like to do it at night. It's okay if your mind wanders during the meditation, even if you fall asleep. Your subconscious mind is still hearing the suggestions. If you're new to meditation and you might get distracted and think, I can't do this. This is not for me. That's not the case. You're still listening at another level. Even if your mind's elsewhere, you're still getting the benefits from meditation. It's a powerful tool to help you focus and make sure you incorporate into your life. So, the summary for this chapter: ask questions to get someone's deeper why, understand the different personalities and what makes them tick, learn to dream again, be a friend who offers help, write down your why and your personally sponsored team members' whys, activate the law of attraction with visual reminders, and center through meditation. I'm telling you, it might sound crazy, but it works. And that's also the next chapter next week is going to be personal development and self-talk. Do you guys have any questions? I really want you, that's your homework from this call to next Monday. I want you to write down your why, and I want you to get with everybody that you personally brought into the business and really get their real why. I want you to write it down, okay? All right, let me grab the chat really quick. Of course, Trish. Of course, of course. I love Mondays are my favorite night. I love all the nights. We have a call every night and I love them all. But Mondays is my favorite. Oh, your dream is an inclusive trip to Hawaii. Girl, I want you to put that on a dream board. Please, please, please put that on a dream board. You're so welcome. Yeah, so the color personalities. So I want you to read, or you don't even have to read it. You can go to YouTube, type in Big Al color personalities, but they group it into four different categories. And maybe Jen, I think you need to do a training on this. We talk a lot that she's good at this. But red is more of a money mindset. They're money motivated. So when I'm talking to somebody who has more of a red personality, which when you talk to them, you're going to be able to really figure out what's making them tick. I'm going to talk more about the comp plan. I'm going to talk about the 50% commission. I'm going to talk about Mexico. I'm going to talk about going to Miami all the time to the corporate office. I'm going to talk about those things. Somebody who's a yellow personality, they are more like teachers, a lot of teachers, a lot of nurses, they're a yellow. They just want to help people. So I'm going to talk about how, they can help people with this business. We have a blue personality. Those people are all about fun. Okay. They don't really care about money that much. They just want to have fun. I'm going to talk about our community. I'm going to talk about the Christmas party we just did. I'm going to talk about our Valentine's Day party we're doing. I'm going to talk about the events that we do for our team, about convention. I'm going to talk about those things. And then a green personality. Their analytics, okay? They want the data, they want the stats. I'm going to talk about how we are the fastest growing network marketing company in the world, how we're number one in Turkey, how we're getting up on the list. What are we, number 27 now out of top 100? I'm going to talk about those things. I'm going to talk about our reports in our back office. I'm going to be talking about the analytics. So let's say if I'm talking to a yellow personality and I'm just talking about money, 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 she's not going to be interested. She don't care about money. Like, of course she does, but that's not the main reason. She wants to help people. When I'm talking about a blue personality and I'm just talking about money, they're gonna get bored. They're gonna say, okay, but is this fun? All you care about is money? Where's the fun? So I like to get to know really the personality of the people I'm talking to. So Big Al, he's not big at all. He's like 4 feet tall. I love him. Read his book. I bet it's on YouTube as well. Kathy, I think you're a mix of everything, and I think we all are. I'm, and you can be. Like, I'm dominant red, but I'm blue, I'm yellow, and I didn't think I was green, but I am. Like, I love my spreadsheets. I love my reports. I think we can be a mix of everything too, but really finding out what that dominant characteristic is of the person you're talking to or your new team member, you're going to be able to coach them and lead them and give them the right information that they actually are going to take in. About myself and my why, well, my why's changed. My why used to be to get out of the trailer house that I was living in and to not be poor and I mean poverty, poverty, poverty. Um, my why's changed now. I want to build a community. I want to build a movement. I want to help as many of you amazing women as I can because it's your turn. It's not my turn. I want to be in the back. I want to be the cheerleader. I don't want to be on stage. I want to be in the back watching you guys be on stage. That's my why now, and that's why I work so hard. That's why I do a call every single night. I don't want to always. Sometimes I just want to go to bed. But my why is I know that it's your time. It's not my time anymore. It's your time. And that's my why now. So our why will change throughout our career. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. What day is it tomorrow? Tuesday. I won't be on the daily chat, but Jesse will, and I will be on there with Jesse. Thank you guys for jumping on, and thank you, Ashley, and all of Ashley's team. You guys have the best leader ever. I did invite Ashley's team on this call. Amazing leader. I love your leader so much, and she's just like me, and she's same. We just want to be your cheerleader. We want you walking the stages. That's not it's not our time no more. It's your time. It's your time, and we are going to be cheering for you for it. All right. Bye, guys. Yes, tomorrow night, Tiffany, 15% and above call. It's going to be awesome. All right. Love you guys.